Those of us who earn Jamaican dollars often marvel at its dwindling buying power. There are several reasons why a currency weakens. A major reason is the matter of supply and demand. If you spend more foreign exchange than you earn, there's a deficit which you may fund via borrowings, for example. In Jamaica's case, who better to give credible reasons for the devaluation of the Jamaican dollar than the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Wynter? Wynter told journalists at the central bank's quarterly briefing May 20, 2014 that the bank broadly agreed with the IMF's assessment that there has been a considerable reduction in the degree of overvaluation of the Jamaican dollar at this time when compared to a year ago. In less arcane layman's terms, both the bank and the IMF agree that the devaluation has slowed, hinting that the Jamaican dollar is close to its true worth.
What does it mean in practice? It means in practice that an exchange rate depreciation that is faster, more or less, than the difference between our inflation rate in Jamaica and the inflation rates of our trading partners, and that's mainly the US, but not only the US, may be unwarranted. Indeed, we should, and I'd like to here remind us, keep focused. When we think about the exchange rate and talk about it, we should keep focused on the current account of the balance of payments. Indeed, a discussion about the exchange rate that does not include explicit discussion and reference to the current account of the balance of payments is not a useful discussion. In fact, you're missing sort of like a wing of a plane, you know. You can't have it. It doesn't make any sense. So it must be a part of any discussion on the exchange rate, must include a discussion of the current account deficit. So let us keep focused on that. I'm inviting you. The country has been earning less than it consumes. In other words, there is a deficit in the current account. In fact, as I think we observe from time to time, you do in the media as well, everybody does, the country has been earning considerably less than it consumes. Not just a little bit, a lot. This is the main driver that has been pushing the depreciation in the currency. The current account deficit has been improving significantly, and it is continuing to improve quickly. This reduces pressure in the foreign exchange market. So with the Bank of Jamaica's foreign exchange reserves now substantially rebuilt, the rate of depreciation has been and is slowing down.
So since the rate of devaluation has slowed, what next for the Jamaican dollar?
Therefore, Bank of Jamaica does not expect to see market movements falling outside of a reasonable range relating to this inflation differential. And Bank of Jamaica will act decisively to discourage any disorder that may emerge in the market.
Wynter says the central bank's objective is the containment of annual inflation to single digits.
Our medium-term target is to reduce inflation to levels that are comparable to our main trading partners. As at March 2014, annual inflation of our main trading partners ranged between 0.7%, that's for the whole year, and 2.4% for the whole year.
For Jamaica, the Bank of Jamaica is targeting headline inflation to be within a band of 7 to 9% for the current fiscal year.
This target we arrive at based on our forecast. So we have an expectation that this is the range for inflation for this fiscal year, and we will act to influence inflation to come within this target. The forecast on which it's built reflects the expected impact of some pass-through of depreciation to the prices of processed foods, services, and durables, but also the impact of revenue measures, where those flow into prices, and also some moderate increases in the costs of international commodities. So these things shape the picture for the pressures on prices during this year. Turning to the quarter, this quarter that we're in right now, we currently forecast that inflation in this quarter should come out in the range of 1 to 2%. And that is underpinned by announced increases that we've been hearing in the prices of some processed foods, rising grains prices, and some pass-through again of the depreciation in the Jamaican dollar, and the impact of the recent revenue measures that I referred to earlier that would be in the annual figures, of course. There could also be in this quarter some upward pressure from recent increases in international oil prices, but we expect all of these factors to be moderated, the upward pressure to be moderated in its impact on inflation due to the relatively weak, although improving, demand conditions in the economy.
The Jamaican Central Bank preens itself on the accuracy of its inflation projections. Let's see how these pan out. That's your wealth for this week. I'm Owen James.